Hey, how's it going? I'm Lynx, and today we're gonna have a closer look at Jörmungand, the World Serpent. What prompted me to make this video was very unique, which is quite complicated, and even I myself didn't understand it fully, or actually misunderstood it perhaps, until actually quite recently when I did figure it out while recording a Dear Boss video. In the middle of the recording, and I actually kept that part in the video. So yeah, there are some things to consider with her unique. Not everyone understands it. I actually got this question in that video as well, like if I can explain her passive. I figured, you know what, I'll make a video about, you know, both her different skills and also her passive. So yeah, let's just get into it. So first up, she has two single target attack cards. One is a range card, one is a melee card. The first card heals on both the bronze, silver and gold cards here. What's interesting here is that the bronze card heals and the gold card actually heal the same amount for a single character. The only difference is that this only heals one character, while this one heals all characters on the field. So, and this one only heals the ally with the lowest HP ratio, which is the one with the least percentage of overall health left. And then she has a buff remover and also stance and buff remover, I guess. This can actually come quite handy on the Dear Boss floor 3 stage 4 second turn, or actually third turn. But on the second turn, the boss gains a evasion and also 30% increase to all stats, I believe. Which on your third turn, she can remove it. And really, on that fight, you don't want to drag it out for more than 2 or maximum 3 turns. So actually having a card that can remove buffs is quite nice. Unless, of course, you're using Matrona, then you have Matrona's buff remover as well. But yeah. Her ultimate, she buffs herself or all allies, damage dealt by, I think it goes from maybe 7% on 1/6 to 42% on 6/6, and then she deals damage. And the buff is actually applied before her damage, so, and it applies for 2 turns. So let's say you get her ult again within the next turn, and then she, like, it won't buff the ult damage because it already buffs it before she ults. So the ult gets the extra damage here, which is nice. So the way you want to gear her is, I would suggest going attack defense or attack crit damage. Now the Dear Boss has quite high crit resistance, so you won't crit the deer all the time with her. So attack crit damage might not be the best. It can be quite useful, but I do find that they are sometimes focus targeting a single unit and is able to kill that unit within 1 turn, even from full health. He's killed Jorm even with the extra defense here in 1 turn when she had full health. That's just something that really shouldn't happen. It does happen, so attack defense is what I would suggest. She still does nice damage, but if you want just a little bit more damage, attack crit damage is the next best thing. Maybe HP defense, really wouldn't recommend it, but because you kind of need damage even with her, and so the more damage she does, the more she heals with her healing card. So yeah, that's what I would go for. Alright, and now here's the passive. I'll actually explain this while doing the Dear Boss. Let's just jump into that. I think that's going to be easier to explain. Alright, so now we're on the Dear Boss, floor 1, phase 1. This team is not representative of a team you actually want to use for the Dear Boss. It's just to show off some different cards that can work with her passive here. So her passive basically gives these all stat increases, and it actually says, at the start of every turn in Demonic Beast battle, Eikthyrnir, applies an effect on all allies, which increases all stats by 30% for 2 turns. So every turn it applies this effect. So now everyone has 30% all stat increase. Then it says, if 3 allies each use skills once or more, the same effect is applied to all allies again. So the crux here is 3 allies can use skills once or more. But you need to attack with 3 different allies. For this purpose, I'll call these allies A, B, C, and D. And hopefully I'll put that on the screen as I'm editing the video. But she also has like this effect here in parentheses. Effect is removed from heroes who use skills after effect is applied. Effect applies once per condition. Now this was the sort of part I completely omitted from the abilities, because I was under the impression like you're attacking with A, B, C, and D, then everyone gets it no matter what, because you attack with 3 different heroes, or at least 3 different heroes. But that is not the case. Because as it says, effect is removed from heroes who use skills after the effect is applied. Effect applies once per condition. So let's say you attack with A, B, C, and then if you attack with D, or either one of these actually, then that person who attacks with the 4th attack won't get the buff. I'll just show everyone actually getting the buff, so there's like no confusion here. And it's actually not even using attack skill, it's like using literally any ability. Both like healing cards, debuff cards, ultimate moves, everything applies to the debuff. So we will see the effect here pretty soon. I'm not sure what the other buff Merlin got there was. But we should get a buff here soon. Right, so she actually did get it on that turn, while the others didn't get it. That's actually interesting, I didn't know that. So I guess you can get a... Like if you attack with A, B, and C, then Merlin gets it right. And then if you attack with Merlin, or the D here, it will do extra damage, but then the next turn she won't actually get the buff. But here everyone has 2 of these stacks now, and yeah, that's sort of the normal. You want to aim for everyone to get the maximum amount of stacks, which is 2, so 60% increase to all stats. Now, if we go in this order, say, hold on, do I have A, B, and C? Yeah, I can go A, and then we go, well, we'll actually go C, and then C, and then B, you know, so you're attacking in a order that's sort of like A, B, B, C. Then the effect, or that triggers the second passive, doesn't get triggered until the 4th attack, which is the attack with the 3rd hero. So in between those, like, you can attack with the same heroes. The only problem here now is in the 2nd and 4th phase of every floor, you need to do the wheel. So unless you actually want to get attack sealed, frozen, or corroded, then you can't really attack in, say, red, green, green, blue. That would be pretty bad. So, but you would still get the double buff for literally all your units, which is sort of the good thing, I guess. Although you can use like heal cards. So say you attack in the order of red, green, and we'll actually see here. We're attacking in red, green. We'll actually use her as a green. We're attacking red, green, green, and then blue, right? This should mean that the next turn we will still get everyone with the buffs, because we didn't attack the boss. We're just healing here, and then we're attacking. So I guess this is a use case like you can use. Unfortunately, you only get 3 attacks in, and you want to do as much damage as possible, so like this isn't the best. I think it's better to just be happy with having like one hero have one of the stacks. You can like pick and choose which hero you want, really. So I'll reset here and we'll continue the explanation. Right, so we're back here, and what we've established so far is that if you attack in this order, so you attack with A, B, C, and then if you use another C or a D or any of these like attacks here, I think even a heal will make it so that the Liz here, because she attacks after, or she uses a skill after the effect is applied, then she won't get the bonus effect. This was sort of the thing I sort of omitted, like I didn't think about it. And I guess you can already see that there. The Merlin got 2 of those, Elizabeth got none, because it sort of removed her buff. And everyone else got 2. That's interesting that it even removes the buff before. Right. Let's have a look and see here. Effect is removed from heroes who use skills after the effect is applied. Effect applies once per condition. So it would remove both these buffs if I used to, or if I used another Jörmungandr attack after having applied the condition again, I suppose. Alright, Links from the Future here interjecting. This is actually something you have to think about while using Jörmungandr for the Deer boss. Like, if you attack with a 4th hero after attacking in the sequence of A, B, and C, that 4th hero, no matter if it's A, B, C, or D, is going to have their all stat increase removed, whether it's the just the 30% or the combine of 30%, so 60% all stat increase removed. And that this also includes, you know, HP defense, the basic stats, but also like the substat, which is crit resistance, crit defense, all of those things. So this could be a reason why the Deer sometimes one-shots a unit, and I think it's actually important to actually keep that in mind, so you don't, well, you actually at least try not to remove the buffs from one of your heroes. And this is sort of the example, like, yeah, you shouldn't attack in the order of A, B, C, and D, or A, B, C, C, or A, B, C, B, or A, B, C, A. Or, you know, any combination, really, but, you know, in that order, when you're attacking with one unit and the next and the next, and then literally anyone, because that unit that you attack or use a skill with won't get the buff. And I think that is sort of the big takeaway with her passive here. I think many people, me included, sort of just didn't realize or understand, like, I noticed that sometimes I'm like, why didn't one of my heroes get a second buff? But, you know, this is why. So you just need to keep that in mind when you're playing the boss. It's not the easiest when you have to do the wheel, and I think you should just focus on the wheel anyway. Unless, of course, you're on floor 2, phase 2, and you can't kill the boss within 2 turns. Which you can really if you have Escanor's ult, maybe 6/6, and you attack with the ult on the first turn or the second turn, you know. Then you might be able to do enough damage, but I think otherwise it's gonna take you more, and you need to get one of your units frozen. And that could be actually a really good way to get a unit frozen, because then you can attack with red, green, green, blue, and have the green unit be frozen. Then you won't take any damage during the third phase of the boss, or I guess the boss's second attack, is it maybe? Yeah, something like that. So there are ways you can work around it while still also getting, while still also doing the color wheel, but also getting the full 60% buff from Jorm's passive. Like, this passive can also be considered like you constantly get a increase of 30%. I think that, like, yeah, that's good, but 60% is better. So try to get 60, but don't worry too much about it, really. It's not like the end-all be-all or be-all end-all thing, so I think it's more important during phase 2 and phase 4 of each floor to actually do the color wheel rather than just getting the buffs. And before I actually forget here, one more thing about her ultimate, because as you see here, it increases damage dealt. That's the same buff as Margaret has, but Margaret, if we go out here and look, Margaret actually has it where she gives more attack increase or damage to enemies from just her silver card here. Increases by 45%, and my Jorm is 6/6. And it only increases by 42%. And she also reduces the damage everyone takes. So like, and it actually overwrites the buff that Jorm's passive or Jorm's ultimate gives. So you can't stack them. So really go for a 1/6 Jorm if she's ever back in a banner. If you have her, hope you went 1/6 and not 6/6 like I did. I didn't actually go 6/6 for her. I tried to go for Brunhild. So I did one extra rotation, and for some reason I got her 6/6. I got so many copies of her. But yeah, that's the video. Hope you found it useful. I'll probably make it for other units as well, like just going over sort of what the units are used for, if there's any like confusion in their uniques that can be brought up and stuff like that. So yeah, leave a like if you liked the video, and I guess I catch you in the next one. Bye.